it's recording.
Okay. So our topic, or what we are thinking at the moment with Cami, is related with English literature and also with history. And we want in somehow like mix these both really important topics of history and English lit, and how this could help students in, we don't know specifically in which like grade, but how this could help them, and also how this could help teachers of English and also history. Our lead advisor, asked us about which was our like main purpose, and we really love like specific periods in the history of the British colony. So we want to talk and investigate more about that, and in some way teach this to students, because in middle school teachers don't teach about these specific topics, so we want to help them with history and also in English. That is what we are like trying to achieve here with Cami.
Yes, we want to we want for the students to feel closer to the language, not only with the grammatics and the specific parts of English, but also with culture. And we think that the best way of getting to know a culture is through its history and literature. We are really interested in those themes. We are on the first stages of this research, so we don't have the specifics yet, but we are very enthusiastic and we hope that we achieve everything we want from this investigation. And how about you?
Vale, maybe I can start. So as you may already know, our topic is about ADHD. Do you remember what ADHD is?
Yes.
What we call, okay. And so we have investigated a lot, and we want to know whether how English teachers, how Chilean EFL teachers include these students in their classroom, how they have experienced that challenge. And we have investigated a lot because we want to know how what ADHD consists of, and also how teachers can approach them, the teaching techniques they can use, and if they apply it in the classroom, so we can hear their experiences, and also we can ensure that they are trying to include them at least. So Vale, you can keep going.
Yes. We were wondering basically how these experiences, if these experiences have any pattern. For example, if teachers repeat certain strategies in order to include the students in the classroom. So one of the hypotheses that we have is that maybe they are patterns, but at the same time we want to know and we want to hear about the experiences, as Sophia said, because for us as future teachers, it's really important to know how inclusion is taking how being an older teacher or a young teacher affect the learning process of these children that had or that have ADHD. So the group that we are going to look for is the little children, like 1st to 6th grade. We are still working on that because we need to, first of all, have the teachers to interview in order to know the data that we are going to have. So that's basically it. I don't know, Sophia, if I'm missing something.
Maybe more characteristics about the research is a qualitative field study. And so we can have many participants or little advisor. Now that we had Miss Jessie as our little advisor, but as she is in maternity leave, now we have Mr. Luis Casimiro. So he told us that as it is a qualitative field study, we can have a maximum 10 participants.
Okay.
I don't know, you guys, if
we
what
also,
kind of go ahead.
yes, we also are going to apply interviews, which is really important because experiences and arguments about this we only can have it by how the teacher expressed the questions, not only to say yes or no.
So it's like a field study
Yes,
somehow?
yes,
Okay,
it is.
perfect. Now we are doing a teaching proposal, and we want to investigate more about how help students in history and in English literature, and mostly students of 8th grade, I think, Cami? Yes?
Yes.
Students of 8th grade, and we want to like use history like an approach and how this could help students like in universal culture, mostly because in the curriculum they don't have about history in the UK or in Europe, mostly, apart from the wars, I think.
Yes. In 8th grade, there's a specific unit that is dedicated to getting to know the countries and the cultures of countries who speak English.
Yes.
So we would like to add to that unit a bit of history, because as Rosie was saying, there are history is very centered. The curriculum of history now is very centered around the history here in Chile,
Yes.
which is good in a way because we get to know our history, but it leaves aside the universal history of different places. That's why we would like to try to add it to English classes and maybe work next to the history teachers for that.
Yes.
Could you tell me why did you choose to work with ADHD?
That was like, and we wanted to work with the multiple intelligences in the classroom, in the EFL classroom, but Miss Jessie in that moment told us that it was like a neuromyth, so that she didn't like that. So she told us that ADHD has been a topic not well researched, so maybe we could go with that to be like something innovative.
Yes, and also the more we investigated, the more we liked it. So I think it's a very fascinating topic. I had no idea, for example, of certain phenomena that exist in the classroom, for example. And also there are not many works, Sophia said, many papers or investigation about this. we don't want to be a pioneer or something. We just want to investigate it here, specifically in the south of Chile. So yeah, we were wondering how the children with ADHD learn, and how what are the teacher experiences. So yeah, we choose it because of that.
I was wondering why you picked the British culture.
Um, do I answer?
You first, sorry.
Mainly because it has a lot of history. Well, we really like the British culture and the accent and all that, but also it is a really old country. A lot of known literature comes from there, and it's been there for a long, long time. So there are many periods of history in which we can center and which made the country what it is today. And we found it really interesting that we could study that long, long history that it had, and see how it affected the people and how it affected the stereotypes and all that comes from having such an old country. Most countries who speak English nowadays do it because the British uh, colonized the places. So we thought it would be like to going to the center of all. And from then we could go to the colonies, but centering on the British part of the history.
Yeah, and we also choose this topic because we really love literature, specifically English leads of different periods in the English colony, because they had different periods, and we want in some way to teach this to the students about these periods, about the history that includes, and also they could read about this in literature, about some famous writers, and at the same time they are going to learn more about the history of this monarchy, and also about the history of the authors, which are really, really famous, as Jane Austen, Shakespeare, Alan Poe. So it's a topic really interesting for us. And most importantly, we really love this topic, and we are really excited about our working thesis, about our project. So that is like the most important for us. That is something that we really, really like, and maybe we could keep working in that, maybe. I don't know. So that is like why we choose this topic in particular, because we like it, and also we want to share this with students.
I think it's really interesting because from what I remember from my school years, I never read like an English book, neither American or
Yes.
British. So it is really interesting to try to I forgot the word, to try to apply that in the classroom,
Yes.
and to try to the children get familiarized with literature.
Obviously, we will not be able to like teach them all the history or all the authors, but maybe some students could get into with this topic, and maybe they would like investigate for their own, like, I don't know, vocation or something. So this could be really helpful for them, because if they didn't have like the opportunity to know them, we can teach them a little about these topics.
Yeah, I think that's really important because the contrast of Sophia, I had read books in the school, American literature, I can say. But we didn't like get into the story, like the history of England or the history of America, like in the period of time that the
Like
book
the
was written.
context.
Yes.
Yes.
So, for example, it was like the purpose to have a better understanding of what we are reading, but not understanding the context, as you said. So it's really important. I really like that.
Thank you. I also think that your investigation is really interesting. I have been reading a little about ADHD, sorry, and most of what it says is that it's not really the people who have it are not don't feel acknowledged by their teachers or by their peers or by their parents. So I think it's great that you are learning how to make them feel comfortable and to make them feel acknowledged and to feel that there's someone who really cares about the way that they feel and learn, because for what I have read, it's different the way that they learn than uh, most students. So I think you're investigating something really interesting. It's great.
Thank
Thank
you. Yeah, I mean, it's like in Chile, there are many children with ADHD, but apart from the decrease that there are no much help to teachers. So maybe we can try to help them even more with this
Yes.
research.
Yes, and also we have the culture of medication. So most of the children are under medication, under Aradix or Ritalin, like the older one had Ritalin. But yeah, no, like there are not a lot of resources or papers that talk about how the teacher actually feels about it and how the teacher actually approach to that.
So maybe we are ready. I don't know. Someone has to say anything else? Okay, so
Thank
bye,
you.
Mrs.
Bye. Thank you.